and with the use of his Kanishth finger, he ripped off the head. Why would you say a lie to a deity during a sadhana? The fifth head of Bhagwan Brahma, he used to say lie. It is a Vama Bhag Shivling Ardhanareshwar Roop where Bhagwan Parvati and Bhagwan Shiv reside together. Kal Bhairav Ashtakam and Hanuman Chalisa. Similarly, Kal Bhairav Upasana and Hanumanji Puja. Both Shiva Swarup only. Both are Rudra avatars.
Hello friends, welcome to a brand new episode of Beyond Belief podcast. Today promises to be an extraordinary discussion as we delve into the magical realms of Kashi. Joining us to spotlight on the enchanting allure of Kashi is none other than Mr. Harsh Pandey. With a profound educational background, including a bachelor's and a master's degree in political science and an honors degree in international relations, Mr. Pandey holds a prominent position of Mahant Pramukh in various temples of Varanasi, Kashi. Some of these temples are Kal Bav Temple, Ma Annapurna Temple, and many others. Mr. Pandey also serves as a CEO of the Kashi Urchin Foundation, a pioneer organization committed for the Annadan, Puja, and Yatra of Kashi. So, without wasting any time, let's welcome our guest, Mr. Harsh Pandey.
Thank you, Rameshji, for the
Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you for the warm introduction.
It's an honor to have you here, sir, and very, very glad that you accepted our invitation.
Thank you for inviting me.
So, sir, with you, I just want to start with Kashi. How is our Kashi?
Kashi is ever evolving, ever dynamic, and it's something to be experienced. We can go on describing about Kashi in words, but that would still be an understatement. You know, in the earlier times, in the Vedas, it is written that even devatas who were blessed with Sahasra Bahu, that is 1,000 hands, and Sahasra Mukh, that is 1,000 mouth, even they were incapable of describing the Mahima of Kashi. So who are we? We can just try our bit to let everyone know about the divine presence of Bhagwan Shiv and his Mahima in his most favorite land of Kashi. But practically speaking, it is something to be experienced, and that can only happen when you go there with the right spirit, with the right intent.
Yeah.
And that is when you get the right essence and the feel of Kashi.
So, I've heard that it's called as an ancient city of world, right? I mean, the entire world, it's the oldest city of world. So, can you please throw some light on the history of Kashi, like how all these started and all that?
Well, not many people know that Kashi was the dear land of Bhagwan Vishnu, Sri Mahavishnu. He used to reside there. In fact, even today, the Kshetra Devata of Kashi is Bindu Madhav, who is a Swarup of Bhagwan Vishnu. So Bhagwan Shiva, after getting married with Ma Parvati, so the harsh climate on Kailash perhaps was not the most suited for Ma Parvati. So they were looking for a place as an alternative to Kailash where they can reside permanently or for a longer duration. So firstly, he said Bhagwan Shiv invited many Devi Devatas to go and look for a certain place where both Bhagwan Shiv and Ma Parvati can reside permanently. So the Devi Devatas went, but mysteriously they didn't come back. So Bhagwan Shiv then called upon Narad Muni. Then Narad Muni ji came. He sent him to go and look after such a place. He went and even he didn't come back. So Bhagwan Shiv started wondering as to what is happening. These people are going and they are not coming back. So he remembered all of them to come and appear in his presence, and they did. So on asking why was there such a delay and why didn't you guys come back, all the Devi Devatas informed Bhagwan Shiv that there is a place known as Kashi, and you were so mesmerized by the charm of the place that we didn't feel like coming back. So this intrigued Bhagwan Shiv as to what kind of a place is this, we should also go and see. So when Bhagwan Shiv went there, he also got in tune with other Devi Devatas and he also didn't feel like coming back. And with the presence of Bhagwan Shiva and Ma Parvati there, slowly and gradually, all the Devi Devatas, they started coming to Kashi and residing in Kashi. So I've started covering some of the ancient parikrama yatras which were being done in Kashi. Now, not many people are now aware. They're coming for, they know the main things to be done, but they're not aware about these significant yatras. For example, the Dasha Mahavidya Yatra, the Ashtavinayak Yatra, the Dwadash Aditya Yatra, the Dwadash Jyotirling Yatra. So a lot of people, they ask me, is everything there in Kashi? And if everything is there in Kashi, then why do we need to go anywhere else? And how come everything is there in Kashi? So this is the reason. Bhagwan Shiva came, and because of him, all the Devi Devatas, they started to come there. Surya Bhagwan came, Aditya, all the Adityas, they are worshipped here. The Dwadash Aditya, the Vinayaks, 64 Yoginis, Ashta Bhairav, all of them are here in Varanasi, in Kashi. A lot of this also happened during the reign of Vedovyas. So Vedovyas had attained a boon from Bhagwan Brahma to gain in a one-way kinship over Kashi. And in one city, there cannot be two kings. So after he got this boon, Bhagwan Shiv had to eventually leave from Kashi. So during that time, he missed Kashi so much that he even cried for Kashi. He never cried when he was away from Ma Parvati. But being away from Kashi, he even cried. He lamented for Kashi. Kashi is so dear to him. So all the Devi and Devatas, seeing this side and this fate of Bhagwan Shiv, all made their attempts as to how they can reinstate or bring back Bhagwan Shiv in his Priya Nagari. They all made their attempts. Bhagwan Surya made his own attempt. The Yoginis made their own attempt. It was eventually Bhagwan Ganesh who could bring back Bhagwan Shiva disguised as an astrologer. There's a big story behind it. Disguised as an astrologer, he went in the court of Vedovyas and he made him realize what a big mistake he has done by keeping Bhagwan Shiv away from his dear land. This is when Vedovyas repented and lamented on his wrongdoing, and Bhagwan Shiva came back. The Dash Ashwamedh Ghat was prepared by Bhagwan Brahma to welcome Bhagwan Shiv once again back into the city. And this is how we have all the Devi Devatas present in Kashi. And this is perhaps the beginning, the primordial a phase where Bhagwan Shiv comes into Kashi. The story of him coming for the first time and then re-entering or coming back again. Similarly, as I mentioned, that Kashi was the dear land of Bhagwan Vishnu and he gave it to Bhagwan Shiv because he liked it. Not many people know that Badrinath was the place of Bhagwan Shiv. He gave it to Bhagwan Vishnu because he liked it. So this is something interesting which people should know.
Yeah. I have heard another story about Kashi is the time when Brahma and Vishnu had an argument, like
Yes.
who is the supreme universal power. So there that lingam the pillar came in form of a Shiva. So that place was actually Kashi. Is that true?
That is very true. So Kashi is known to be the Jyotirling of Utpatti. That is the creation of everything. The place where the Kashi Vishwanath Jyotirling is located or situated. So this is supposed to be the exact place where that divine fiery light took place in the universe, in the three lokas, where Bhagwan Vishnu and Bhagwan Brahma, they tried to find an end to the light, but they couldn't find. So the exact place is known as Kashi Vishwanath. That is the Lord of all the universe. So every Jyotirling has its own significance in that way. Kashi is the Jyotirling of Utpatti, source of creation.
Okay. I also had a curiosity about Swayambhu. Like the people say that this Jyotirling is a Swayambhu Jyotirling. So what does it actually mean when we say Swayambhu?
In general, the term Swayambhu means self-incarnated, if we go by the literal meaning of the word.
Yeah.
And Swayambhu Shivlings are powerful in their own way. That natural essence is present there. The natural power is omnipresent around that Shivalinga Kshetra.
Right.
Kashi Vishwanath was supposed to be Swayambhu Shivaling, the Adi Vishweshwar, which is a contentious issue right now in the court of law. The Adi Vishweshwar, for which the Hindu side have appealed in the court of law.
Yeah.
The Kashi Vishwanath that we worship today, it is pratisthit by Bhagwan Adi Guru Shankaracharya ji.
Yeah.
It is a Vama Bhag Shivling Ardhanareshwar Roop where Bhagwan Parvati and Bhagwan Shiv reside together.
Yeah.
Swayambhu Shivling has its own presence, power. It is considered to be the best for Shiva Dhyan and Shiva Upasana, Shiva Tapasya, Shiva Sadhana.
Okay.
Anyone who's willing to gain Shiva Bhakti, they should worship Swayambhu Shivling.
Okay. So coming back to Kashi, I mean, I have heard another story about it that Kal Bhairav, if you visit Kashi and if you don't visit Kal Bhairav, the journey is not complete, as they say. And I have heard that people call him as Kotwal of Kashi. So please throw some light on it.
That is very true. A lot of people, in fact, ask this question as to whether they should go to Kashi Vishwanath first or Kal Bhairav first.
Yeah.
So the thing is that according to Skanda Puran, if you leave your home for coming to Kashi, then if you look at the journey between you leaving your home and coming to Kashi, each step that you take in between, it yields you more punya than an Ashwamedh Yagna performed. Such is the high significance of just coming into Kashi. Leave apart performing rituals, leave apart having darshans. Just if you come to Kashi, such is the high significance of coming itself. But this massive punya of performing Ashwamedh at every step, when you come to Kashi, this punya is credited to you when you get the darshans of Bhagwan Kal Bhairav. So irrespective of you have it first or later, you should have his darshans mandatorily. Most of the people follow the norm of worshipping him first because he is the guardian or Kotwal also.
Yeah.
So they worship him first, they take his permission, and then they'll go elsewhere. And also at the time of leaving, they'll seek his permission also.
Yeah.
And then they leave. Suppose, for example, if I have entered your building, so the first person that I confront is your guardian or watchman who's there.
Yeah.
I see him, then only I can come up. I can register myself there. Again, when I have to go back, he is the person who will see at last.
Right.
So that could be a good example for people to understand in layman terms.
Yeah. That's why he's called as Kshetrapal.
Kshetrapal, he's Shiva himself.
Yeah.
Kashi was so dear to Bhagwan Shiv that even to guard Kashi, he took the form of Kotwal. He took the form of Kal Bhairav. He's Shiva himself. If you observe closely the Swarup of Kal Bhairav, he's having Chandrama on his forehead, similar to Kashi Vishwanath or Bhagwan Shiv.
Yeah.
He's having a Trishul in one hand. Ganga is there flowing in his jatas. Third eye is open.
Yeah.
He's having additionally one thing, which is Shiva plus one, and that is the dand in his hand.
Yeah.
To do justice, to do nyaya. That is why he's also called as Nyayadhish. He'll bless you with punya and papa both. In proportion to punya and papa, you will be blessed with both reward and punishment.
Right.
So that is the significance of the dand that he's carrying.
Why Shiva needed to guard Kashi? What was the need to guard Kashi?
The significance of this kshetra was so high. It was believed that just when you come to Kashi, when you have a dip in Ma Ganga, all your sins are wiped away and washed away. So all sorts of people, they started coming into Kashi. They did all sorts of wrong activities throughout their life. And they had this belief that when they come to Kashi, they take the dip, all the sins are washed away. So this is a blessing on the city of Kashi. It is still there. So all sorts of these filthy creatures, they started coming here. So that time, this concept of Bhairavi Yatna was created. That just at the moment or stroke of your death, just at the time when you will be about to die, during that phase, you will have to face both pain and pleasure in proportion to your punya and papa. The concept of Bhairavi Yatna. So that is one of the prime reasons why Bhairavji had to be present there to guard, to give reward, to give punishment to people. If you come to our Kal Bhairav temple, you will observe that there are many people who are sitting around and they'll be blessing you with a peacock feather. So that is called as Bhairav Dand. Because according to Kashi Khand, if you get that Bhairav Dand in Kal Bhairav temple, then you don't have to face that Bhairavi Yatna. You are mukt from the Bhairavi Yatna.
That was my question. Like as you explained about Bhairavi Yatna. So is it only at the time of death when you see it? Or like suppose if I am visiting Kashi now and whatever deeds I have done wrong or right, whatever deeds I have done, and if I visit Kal Bav Temple, right? So as you said that they have appointed him as a kotwal or as a kshetrapala of Kashi. So what does it do? I mean, like if I'm not dying now, and if I want to, like what happened with me, as I explained to you back camera. So that thing happened with, is that the thing which happened with the people, or how does it say? As you say that the peacock feather thing, when you hit that, your karmas are wiped out, right? So what does it convey for a layman? If I directly go to there, and I may not be knowing there is a Bhairavi, yatna and all that, but how will I come to know that? Yes, I get some experience out of it?
So there are two, three things in that question. So the peacock feather comes much later. There's a very prime stuti which is done in our temple to worship Bhagwan Kal Bhairav. Varanasyam Bhairav Deva Sansara Bhayanashanam Aneka Janma Kritam Papam Darshanena Vinashyati.
Yeah.
So just by merely having his darshans,
Yeah.
sins of past many karmas, Janma Janmantar, Yug Yugantar, they are wiped away just by merely having the darshans. So having the darshans holds that amount of significance. The dand comes much later. For a person who is residing in this Maya Yug, in this Kali Yug, what significance does Kal Bhairavji have for him? Or when he has his darshan, what significance does that have for him or his life going ahead, whether his punya papa are there still in balance or they're wiped away? So see, anyone who takes birth in Sanatan Dharma, we believe according to our Shastras, his life from B to D, that is birth to death, is governed by Bhagwan Brahma. He writes everything from your time. Everything is pre-decided as per him. But if you are born in Kashi, it is Kal Bhairavji who decides your fate. Or even if you have his darshan once in Kashi, from that point of time till your death, he'll decide your fate. So that answers your second part of the questions. And then there is a final connotation to the present time. Everybody is striving for material aspect. I'm very happy these days seeing the spiritual quest which the youngsters are having today. Bhakti was there even before. Just if I look at my previous generation, that is the generation of my father, they were devoted in a different way. There was astha in a different way. But today's young generation that I see is so much interested and inclined towards knowing about these things in much more depth and detail, doing these sadhanas in much more depth and detail. That is very interesting. So Kal Bhairav is one devata. He is worshipped in both, in all the three ways of sattvic, rajasic, tamasic guna. It is up to you what you want from him. Although in our temple we do not have any tamasic offerings. In the tamasic offering, there is sanctified alcohol or karan that is only offered, and that too in a certain way during certain times.
I'll come to that later. I mean, I just wanted to, when we speak about Kal Bhairav, as you said that he wipes off your karma and all that. So, if this is the significance of this devata, then why there is so much of misconception, misunderstanding about him? Like, I've heard a lot of people, associate negative things with him. Like if you want to do black magic, you worship Kal Bhairav. Like as you said that there are three aspects of it. Whatever you want from him, he will be providing it to you. But my point is why people are not aware about the aspects which you talk about. And the aspect, as you said, that he is also called as Nyayadhish, which will do justice to you according to your karmas. Right. So why that aspect is not known to more people?
Again, there are 2-3 ways to explain this as well. In general, for anyone, Kal Bhairav perhaps is one classic example in this case. In general, if you do not have the guidance of a right guru, it is more likely that you'll go in the wrong path. If you're unaware, if you're having little knowledge and you're gaining knowledge from unauthorized sources, you are likely to go. And that is perhaps very much true and relevant in our social media times. There are many people who I see and meet. So they see Bhagwan Shiva and Bhagwan Vishnu also very differently. Vaishnavas will not worship Shiva, Shaivites will not worship Vishnu. So this is a classic example of not having a guru or not having the right guru. I've met personal people. I've had great amount of examples. Some few that I cannot even say on camera. They're so much rigorous, and they're so much strict in their own vision of their own God. If they're worshipping Laddu Gopal, they'll not keep a Shivalinga at their home. If they're worshipping a Shivalinga, they'll not worship a Laddu Gopal at their home. So this very narrow and pseudo mindset, this is something that is self-destructive. And this is not gaining you any punya. See, having an Ishta Devata is very important, and that one eventually finds out. But you have to respect and admire and appreciate and worship all the Devi and Devatas in their own swarup. If you are not aware, if you're not informed of the methods of worship, still you cannot say anything from your mukha, from your mouth, which goes against our Shastras. And differentiating between Shiva and Vishnu or Shiva and Hari is considered to be equivalent to Gauhatya. So Bhairav ji is one Devata, as I said, he's worshipped in 3 different ways. There's a Tamasic worship also, and he's rare in this way. There are very limited deities or very few deities you will see who are worshipped in all the 3 ways. He's one such. So from earlier times, especially in our northern belt of Kashmir, Bhairav Puja and Upasana in the Sattvic way was very prevalent. Unfortunately, started diminishing as our colonial rule progressed. And today, though I feel that they've past few years, kudos to some gurus and kudos to some people, again that surge of Bhairav sadhana, upasana and puja is increasingly coming up again in this country. But still, there was this big dawn phase which we had to go through. And tantrics have always worshipped Kal Bhairav for their own gains, own spiritual upliftment. Perhaps this is one of the reasons. And tantric word in itself is connoted very wrongly by people.
Correct.
Only those sitting in the samshans.
Yeah, they are looking at it as negative.
They're looking it at in a negative way and are not informed and aware about the different connotations of Tantra Shastra. And they're not even seeing far beyond the actual method of worship has to do with it. So there are few things with regards to it. And if we see, even in today's time, all these forms of worship are prevalent. But in your question also, if I see that why is it today this form of connotation, negativity is very high amongst people, colonial legacy has to do a lot with it. Not having right gurus is to do a lot with it. Adi Guru Shankaracharya ji, who is Shiva Swarup himself, people worship him as Shiva himself. Adi Guru Shankaracharya ji composed the famous Kal Bhairav Ashtakam, which is one of the most principal forms of worship to Bhagavan Kal Bhairav. So if we refer to that, then the Mahima of Bhagavan Kal Bhairav is clearly elucidated for people to know, understand, learn. That is an autobiography, that is a voluminous book in itself, although that is 8 stanzas only, Ashtakam. But if we go deeper into the details of Ashtakam, and I'll refer anyone who wants to understand Kal Bhairav ji, anyone who wants to gain his worship, his bhakti, his sadhana, wants to know the true nature of Bhagwan Kal Bhairav, he should refer to Adi Guru Shankaracharya ji's composed Kal Bhairav Ashtakam. That would be the most right and authentic approach to go about the bhakti and sadhana of Bhagwan Kal Bhairav.
I have heard another, thing about Devta is that he does not tolerate mistakes. Like if you are making some mistakes, be it spiritual mistake or when you are following that spirituality, when you are worshipping, doing upasana, and you know the dharma and adharma, right? And if you are still following the dharma, he does not tolerate that. How true is that?
This is true in general for any Ugra Rupa. Kal Bhairav ji is an Ugra Swarup. When he got angry at Brahma for the lie he said, Brahma ji is a classic example where his anger comes out. Brahma ji told a lie. You gave an example of the divine light coming in Kashi and Kashi Vishwanath being the source of Utpatti. So if I go back to that story in little detail, so there was a conflict between Brahma and Vishnu as to who's more superior between the two. So that time to resolve this conflict, Bhagavan Shiv took this Jyoti to this divine pillar of light, and told both of them, anyone who is able to find an end to this light, which is spread across, he'll be considered more superior among the two. So Bhagavan Vishnu, sitting on a wild boar, went downwards. Bhagavan Brahma, sitting on a swan, he went upwards. Vishnu couldn't find the end, and he accepted that he couldn't find the end to it. But the fifth head of Bhagavan Brahma, he used to say lie. He used to tell the deceit. And he said that I was able to find the end and hence I am more superior. This angered Bhagavan Shiva, and he assumed the fifth Rudra avatar of Bhagavan Kal Bav, and with the use of his Kanishth finger, he ripped off the head, the fifth head of Bhagavan Brahma. It's a classic example of where his anger comes out. We have to refer to this. Why would you say a lie to a deity during a sadhana? Why would you deceit? And being honest is the most fundamental aspect of doing any worship, puja, sadhana, upasana. First be honest to yourself, then to others. Deity also come in that frame. First be honest to yourself. And being honest is one of the most liked quality with Ugra Devatas, and Kal Bhairav ji is one of them. Means if you're honest to him, honest to yourself, with others around, he'll protect you like anything.
Also, I have heard that he makes you fearless. Like if you are worshipping him, if you are doing his upasana, he makes you fearless, and he quickens your, whatever progress you are doing, he will quicken it. I mean, he will fasten it up. So how true is that also?
If you look at the literal meaning of the word Bhairav, Bhai is your fear or anxiety. Rav is to get rid of. So the one who gets rid of your fear is Bhairav. Where Bhai is there Bhairav will not be there, and where Bhairav is there Bhai will not be there. So you need to understand this. That is very true what you just said. He makes you fearless, and he makes you able to confront any situation in life. A lot of what I am able to sit here and speak in front of you or the camera, I believe that's all grace and bhakti of Bhagavan Kal Bhairav. It is his blessings. He will foster your, in fact, worship. If you're coming closer to Bhagavan Kal Bhairav, you can consider this as first few signs of you getting on the right path, right track, and getting in the spiritual direction. One of the first few right indications. And yes, materially also, if you read the Kal Bhairav Ashtakam, there are certain lines. Ashta Siddhi Dayakam blesses you with 8 different forms of wealth. Vichitra Punya Vardhanam, even that punya which your mind is incapable of comprehending, even that punya karma is credited to you when you worship Kal Bhairav in the right way. He is the guru of Shani, Rahu, Ketu, all the Chaya Graha, all the shadow planets, most of which
affects you,
affect the people.
Yeah.
People are mostly troubled by them.
Correct.
Shani, Rahu, Ketu and Mangal. He is the guru, Graha Guru of all these shadow planets. So anyone who holds the feet of Bhagavan Kal Bhairav very tightly, he does not have to face the wrath of these Mahadashas and Antardashas or Sadesati. He'll always be protected by Bhagavan Kal Bhairav.
So whatever you said, I have one question from that. What are the Asht Siddhis which he provide? Like Asht Siddhis you talk about that he gives. What are those?
So the name of the Asht Siddhis as described by our Shastras are Anima, Garima, Laghima, Prapti, Prakambya, Ishitva and Vashitva. There are 8 different ways, there are 8 different perspectives to look at it, and they are very contrasting. Anima, to become weightless. He'll reduce your ego. He'll make you become without any ego, weightless. The symbolic meaning of being weightless. Garima, to become heavy in weight. You will become heavy with right emotions, right conduct. You'll start to go on the right path. Ishitva, Vashitva. You'll be worshipping the right people. You'll be getting in touch with the right people. Those wrong, they'll get separated from your life. This is a very common thing which people tell me. There was a young lady from Delhi, I was talking to her yesterday, and she told me that I really want to go ahead with Kal Bhairav sadhana and upasana. But one thing that worries me is that he takes off people very quickly from your life who are not very true, who are not correct for you.
Right.
I said, that is a good thing. That is not a bad thing. If he was not supposed to be right for you, then today or tomorrow he would have left you.
Correct.
Or would have left you in a wrong state. If he has gone quickly, then that is a good sign for you. That is not at all bad. But people are fear that they are worried to face and confront that situation. People don't want to face their fears. Kal Bhairav makes you face those worst forms of fear, and that is how he makes you fearless. By making you face those fears. How would you see, if everything is good, then there's not much for you to learn. Only when you make a mistake, you get a lesson for not doing it again or doing it in a different way so that you don't commit the same mistake. That's his way of teaching you.
Hmm. I've also heard about that he guards all the 8 directions, Ashtabhairav as we call.
Right.
So what are those and what are their significance to us?
See, the Panchakroshi Parikrama Yatra of Kashi, it is in a radius of 5 kilometers. So that was from Puranic time. That was considered to be the Avimukta Kshetra, the Kshetra which is very dear to Bhagwan Shiv, most dear to him. In fact, here I would like to clear also about the geographical aspect of Kashi. Many people are confused between Kashi, Banaras and Varanasi.
Yeah, I was coming to that, yeah.
So how is this? So Kashi is the dear land. It is the Priya Nagari of Bhagwan Shiv, which we have read in the Puranas, which is the Avimukta Kshetra. Varanasi is again a geographical explanation of the place. From Varuna river to Assi river is Varanasi. And Banaras, this is very late term, again in our colonial period. So this basically represents the mood of the city, the flavor of the city. Everything is ready-made here. So this is the overall explanation as to the differentiating names that we commonly have so that people don't get confused. So the Panchakroshi Parikrama area of Kashi, which is there, this is considered to be the most sacred. According to our Puranas, the many Devi and Devatas, many and Devi Devatas which are there in this Panchakroshi Parikrama area. There's a popular phrase by the line which goes by Prayag Munde, Gaya Pinde and Kashi Dunde. That is by doing Mundan Sanskar in Prayagraj, by doing Pinddan in Gaya and Kashi Dunde, by merely going for search, you can find God in Kashi. So this divine Kshetra which is there in this Panchakroshi, Kal Bhairav ji is there situated in 8 different directions and guarding them in certain way. Each direction has its own merit, each direction has its own prime deity and is guarding them in a certain way even till today. The Ashtabhairav Yatra, recently I covered and I tried to make people aware of this ancient yatra which is slowly getting dilapidated for people to come and visit and experience these 8 different forms of Bhagwan Kal Bhairav. Starting with Asitang Bhairav. Then you go to Ruru Bhairav, Krodan Bhairav, Chand Bhairav, Bhishan Bhairav, Unmatt Bhairav. You have Lat Bhairav, and then finally you have Samhar Bhairav. These 8 Bhairavs, they are guarding 8 different directions in certain ways. For example, Lat Bhairav. He's the Nyayadhish of Kashi. He gives the punya and papa that I mentioned. When you are born in Kashi, he is responsible for that. So he's guarding this aspect. And then there is Unmat Bhairav. If you ever go to Unmat Bhairav and if you worship his Swarup, he's made his fist in this way. And he is having his legs crossed. And he's making a certain sound or dhwani. Yeah, that is keeping the enemies away from the city. So 8 different Bhairavs, they have their inherent qualities, guarding 8 different directions in a different manner. That is one of the beauties of Kashi, Ashtabhairav. People should come and visit in person to experience this cosmic energy, this powerhouse of energy, Ashtabhairav.
So also I have heard about a Puranic story wherein the wealth of Lakshmi and Kuir was used up during the wars between the god and the asuras. So they went to Swarnakarshan Bhairav. Those who are in the form of Bhairav, which gives you the wealth and the prosperity. So please tell us about that.
Yes, Swarnakarshan Bhairav, very rightly said. Swarnakarshan Bhairav is one who blesses you with immense amount of wealth. He's one form of Bhairava. Means if you're looking for Lakshmi, if you're looking for Dhan, Dhanya, high stature in society, Swarnakarshan Bhairav. You should go and have your obeisance there. You pay your obedience there. But the worship, the form of method of worship of Swarnakarshan Bhairav is very obscure. It's not very clear. Yes, he's he's a form of Bhairav only. He's one form of Kal Bhairav only. Worship for a particular thing, gaining high respect in society.
Does Kashi have a temple of Swarnakarshan Bhairav?
I'm in still search of that. It is certainly there. Uh, it may be actually the thing in Kashi with many temples is that the names have been changed, or people in their ignorance have named it differently. That makes the search even more difficult.
So many shivlings might have gone underground as well, which are yet to come up. Like as we see in the, recently we have seen that a lot of things are coming up and people are claiming it, and court cases and all that. So still there might be a lot of shivlings which are, or many temples which are underground, especially in Kashi, if we say.
It's not a big surprise. Reason is that so Kashi is the heart of Shiva. If you're walking in Kashi, then you are walking on the heart of Shiva. So if a Shivalinga is coming out of a certain random place, then what's a big surprise? Here, Kankar is Shankar. Even the stones and pebble, they shout out Shankar. Such is the high significance. It is so dear to him, heart of Shiva.
Okay. So another thing which I've heard about during the Mughal era is when they came to demolish the Jyotirling, the temple which was there. So they also went to Kal Bhairav temple. But something happened there. I just want to know what happened there. I mean, they came back without demolishing it.
Yeah, the Aurangzeb and his army, not only Kashi Vishwanath temple, there are many temples they tried attacking. Bindu Madhav temple, which I mentioned in the start, Kshetra Devata, is a classic example. People should go there and see. One of the temples which my family is managing, Om Kareshwar Mahadev, significant Jyotirling, one of the 12 Jyotirlings of Kashi. According to Skanda Puran, anyone who goes and has darshan of Om Kareshwar in Kashi, it is equivalent to having darshans of all the Shivalingas in the Brahmand, in the entire Brahmand. There's no Shivaling as parallel to the importance of Om Kareshwar. That also has been in one or the other way impacted by our colonial history. Kal Bhairav temple, yes, they came. It is said that my ancestors, what they've told us, and that has been passed to me, when they came to attack our temple, a swarm of bees attacked the army in the number of millions. Yeah, and the army they were rathered away. Yeah. So Kal Bhairav ji is an Jagrit Devata of Kal Yuga, like Hanuman ji. You can have both Kal Bhairav Ashtakam and Hanuman Chalisa go to hand, a powerful, deadly combination. Kal Bhairav Ashtakam and Hanuman Chalisa. Similarly, Kal Bhairav Upasana and Hanuman ji Puja. Both Shiva Swarup only. Both are Rudra avatars. Both are Jagrit Devatas of Kal Yuga. So it's not a big surprise. He guarded his own city, he guarded his own temple.
Yeah. I also know that, like as you said, Hanuman ji and Kal Bhairav are more closer to the people in Kal Yuga. I mean,
That's true.
You can easily, please them or easily call them and they can come for your help.
That is very true. That's very true. It's going towards a deity, worshipping him. It is also a lot to do with your own prarabdha. What you have done in your previous birth. What deity you choose to worship. Which deity you will make your as an Ishta Devata. You will have certain debt with that deity during your previous birth, which you will realize sooner or later when you go deeper in Upasana. So the prarabdha or the previous birth, punya and karma, that has a lot to do with the deity you choose, the form of deity, the form of Rudra, the form of Vishnu you worship.
Yeah.
And you go ahead with that.
Yeah. Also, there are a lot of misunderstanding about keeping an idol at home. Like you cannot keep an idol of a Ugra Devta at your home, or Ugra Devi, like for example, Ma Kali, you cannot keep. So what is the truth about it?
So in general, keeping a deity in idol form of bigger than a certain size, ideally it should be thumb size, bigger than this, any deity, not only Ugra Devata, any deity should not be there in your house. Because in the temple, Prana Pratishtha is done, proper prana pratishtha is done, and there are Shaivites, there are priests who are there to take care of the idol from day to night. Because when prana pratishtha is done in the idol, then he's like you and me. He need to be given food at regular intervals, water at regular intervals, given holy bath or abhishek at certain times, right? He need his warm, he need the arti. This is not possible at home. In our grihastha phase of life, this is not possible. What most of the people do, morning they'll go once to their puja room, maybe evening they'll go once. Most of them don't even go in the evening also. So this is not possible. So in general, to keep this, best have photos. Yes, best have photos. You can have photo of Bhagwan Kal Bav. In fact, one of my first devotees whom I used to teach sadhana, he was a Romanian astrologer. So he had read in a shastra that if you keep the photo of Bhagwan Kal Bhairav in the north direction, then Pitra dosha from your home is wiped away like that only. So such is the significance of keeping the photo. There are certain yantras of Bhagwan Kal Bhairav which kept in your house at certain locations. For example, say at outside of your doorstep, in your puja room, in a certain place where most of the people would be coming and observing it, or where it can observe most of the people coming in. That takes away the negative energy. There are certain yantras which are kept in the room, in the living room. The intention is, if you're keeping it either outside the doorstep or in the living room, that either the people who are coming inside, they should see it, or if they are not seeing, then the yantra should see them. The negative energy is guarded off. So this is one of the benefits of keeping Kala Bhairav photo or murti or yantra at your place.
Okay.
Yes.
Talking about Kal Bav Temple in Ujjain, where, as you said, the alcohol is being offered to the god. So what is the truth about it?
It is offered in Kashi also. It is offered in Ujjain also. I'm actually, if there's anything that disappoints me the most, it is this aspect. I was listening to a very famous guru. I'll not name it on the show.
Yeah.
So somebody asked him, why is alcohol offered to Kal Bhairav?
Correct.
And he's very renowned. Means known in the entire Bharatvarsh. In fact, outside also there's a craze of this guru that is going on. He answered that some certain tantric people, to get their tantric kriyas done, they offer alcohol to Kal Bhairav, and when he is in the state of hangover, they get their things done from him. Ridiculous explanation. So when Kal Bhairav ji attained to Brahm Hatya Dosh, I mentioned in the start when he ripped off the fifth head of Brahma. So Brahma was Brahma, Parabrahm. So when he ripped off the head, fifth head of Bhagwan Brahma, he attained to Brahm Hatya Dosh. And to get rid of that Brahm Hatya Dosh, he traveled around the world, across the three lokas, to get rid of the Brahm Hatya Dosh. When he reached to Vaikuntha Dham, that is the place of Bhagwan Mahavishnu, there Bhagwan Vishnu could observe and see from far that Sakshat Shiva Swarup has come to his dham. Trishul in hand, Dand in another hand, Chandrama, third eye. So Bhagwan Mahavishnu offered his Dandavat Pranam to Bhagwan Kal Bhairav. And Lakshmi Devi, the eternal consort of Bhagwan Vishnu, she offered Dakshina in the khappar of Bhagwan Kal Bhairav. So khappar is a silver vessel or a favorite pot of Bhagwan Kal Bhairav which he carries in his own hand. If you see the idol of Kal Bhairav, even if you come to our Kashi temple, you'll see there's a silver khappar. And any offering dear to him, it is made in that khappar. When it made in that khappar, it is sanctified automatically. That is the right way of offering alcohol also. You should always offer in the khappar, in that deer pot. So anyone who does the khappar seva, he receives not only the blessings of Bhagwan Kal Bhairav, but also Lakshmi Devi. It is considered to be one of the highest sevas in Naivedyam to Bhagwan Kal Bhairav. In the earlier times, in the medieval period especially, alcohol was offered to Bhagwan Kal Bhairav because many people believe that offering alcohol to Kal Bhairav, it will help them get their bad habits or drinking habit. They'll get rid of that.
It's like they are offering a bad, thing so that the god can take it away.
Yes, in the Kali Yuga, alcohol represents the negativity.
Correct.
So in our times, we are offering alcohol to surrender our negativities to Bhagwan Kal Bhairav. That is the right way to look at it, right approach to look at it. And it should always be offered in the khappar, in that silver pot, in that silver vessel. Ideally, it should be in silver. It can be uh, in a bamboo or a coconut shell also. Khappar can be made of that substance also.
That khappar which was there in the hand of Kal Bav, is it a khappar of, I mean, skull of Brahmaji which he cut? And I heard a story which was stuck in his hand, and it came off when he
When he
visited
came
Kashi.
into Kashi,
Yeah.
that skull automatically fell off. In fact, going to Vaikunt was one of the reasons he wanted to know.
Hmm.
He felt that going to Vaikunt will get his sins, will get
Was-
his
yeah.
Brahmatya dosh off. But that didn't happen. Bhagwan Vishnu instructed him to go to Kashi. And when he landed in Kashi, as soon as he came to Kashi, that skull fell off eventually, immediately. The exact place where that skull fell off is known as Kapala Mochan Tirth. It is still there. That pond is still there, just
Okay.
near to Lord Bhairav temple.
So is it the reason, like the skull which fell off from his hand in Kashi, and so like he attained mukti from his
Yes.
Brahmatya, right? So is it the reason why people go there? Like this may be the starting of it. Like
Yes. Yes. He resided there thereafter permanently to take off worst forms of doshas from devotees' life, to give welfare to all the devotees, to ensure that nyaya is done to the right person. No wrong is done to a right person who is maintaining right conduct, right spiritual life. That was one of the reasons he resided there permanently. There's another reason which a local folk, especially in Kashi, they'll tell you. When Bhagwan Shiva was going back to Kailash, he handed over all the administrative responsibilities of the city to Kal Bhairavji himself. So in Kali Yuga, he is Vishwanath, he is Kal Bhairav, he is everything. Because Kashi Vishwanath ji has surrendered or given all his responsibilities to him to guard of this holy city.
Right.
That's also one way of looking at it. And even in today's time, any designated officer who's taking in charge
Yeah, I
has
have
to
heard this.
first visit the temple.
Yeah.
In fact, if you go to any local police station in Varanasi, you will see that on the seat of the superintendent, it is the picture and photo of Bhagwan Kal Bhairav which is kept, and the superintendent is sitting next to that.
Right.
Because it is believed that even in today's time, even in Kali Yug's time, it is Kal Bhairavji who is guarding the city, and modern day officers are working as his agents. Although the temple is in itself one of the most important shrines, so
Yeah.
any personality visiting is not but to give a larger audience an example. Even our Prime Minister, who is a member of parliament from the city of Varanasi, whenever he comes to Kashi, so he'll first go and pay his worship to Kal Bhairav. When he was to file his nomination, both the terms, I'm sure in the third term also you will see, before filing his nomination, he'll go and visit Kal Bhairav, seek his blessings, and then he'll go and file the nomination at the election office.
Yeah. I have heard a similar thing about Mahakal also. Like in Ujjain, it is said that if you are a some kind of a power, you cannot stay in that city. You will come and worship and visit the temple, and you will go back. You cannot stay in Ujjain overnight.
Yes,
That's
I
what
have
I
also
have
heard this local folk.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is very popular there.
Yeah. So they said that if you stay overnight, then so suppose if you are in power, if you are in in a government, your government will be double off on the other day, on the next day. I mean, there are instances which have happened in the history. I don't know how true is that. I just share that because I have heard a similar thing about Mahakal as well. So coming back to Kashi, the another thing I wanted to ask is Manikarnika Ghat. So why is that ghat so very famous, and why everybody wants to go there in their last time? Why is that so?
So Manikarnika, not many people know. Not only it is a Mahashamshan, but it is also a Mahashakti Peeth. It is a place where the money or the earring of Mahasati had fallen, and just near to Manikarnika is the much coveted Vishalakshi Shakti Peeth temple present also. For devotees coming from south of India, it is one of the most principal places to go and visit. There are 4 Shakti Peethas, I have heard, I think 3 or 4 in this notion. Madurai Meenakshi, Kanchi Kamakshi, and Kashi Vishalakshi. So series of these 3 Shakti Peethas very dear for South Indian devotees who come to Varanasi. So Manikarnika is a Mahatirth in itself. There is a famous shloka in the Skanda Puran which goes by Navishveshwara Samo Lingam That is, there is no Shivling as parallel to the importance of Kashi Vishwanath Shivling. Na Vishweshwara Samolingam na Kashi Sadrishi Puri. That among the Saptapuris, Kashi Puri is the most powerful and auspicious because all the Saptapuris are Mokshadaini and Kashi is Maha Mokshadaini. Na Vishweshwara Samolingam na Kashi Sadrishi Puri na Manikarnika Samo Tirtham. There is no Tirth as parallel to the importance of Manikarnika. Nasti Brahmanda Golke on the entire universe. In the Skanda Purana, it is written that if you recite one Gayatri Jap sitting on the Manikarnika, it is equivalent to reciting 10,000 or 10 Sahasra Gayatri Jap. If you do one Yagna Ahuti sitting at Manikarnika, you are blessed with being Ajanma Agnihotra. It is so important. Manikarnika is a larger form of Bhagwan Bhairav himself. For those practicing in that certain way, they can feel that power. And that is why whenever you go to Manikarnika, you'll never feel the fear. There'll be a certain sense of relief. There'll be a certain sense of relaxation which you'll feel. But you'll never, although it is a Mahashamshan, burning heart, not even a single there is not even a single second when the chitas are not being burnt on that ghat. But still, you will not face that fear. It is the presence of Bhairav Baba. Because I said, where Bhairav is there, their fear will not be there. So even at the Mahashamshan, his presence is so strong that way.
Any Puranic story related to this ghat? Why this is so important? As you said that it's a bigger form of Bhairav only. So does Bhairav did his tapasya there or did his
That is
upasana
Bhairav
there?
himself. The Mahashamshan, when Shiva sits in Shamshan, he is Bhairav. And there is a Mani Kund still present, where it is believed that Bhagwan Shiva and Ma Parvati had taken a dip together in that kund. Makes it extremely sacred. In fact, on a Shravan Purnima day, anyone who takes a dip in that pond is said to attain to moksha. Such is the high significance.
Recently, I saw one of the clip on social media wherein a lot of people were there in Kashi on the road. There was not a place to put a feet there. So I mean, instead of what I perceive is, it's more than knowing about these aspects. It's just that they just want to blog it. They have the camera in hand. They don't, even if they are going to, for example, they are going to Manikarnika Ghat. So they'll be busy in taking pictures, taking videos, rather than feeling the importance of it and sitting silently on it. So I feel of late, a lot of visitors have come to Kashi. You might have also experienced that.
Yeah.
What do you have to say on that?
Well, that is very true. Of late, Varanasi has taken over Goa in tourism. More people are coming to Varanasi than they are going to Goa.
Goa, correct.
On an average day, more than 2 lakh people are coming to Varanasi.
Oh my God.
And on weekends, this number goes up to 4 to 5 lakhs.
Oh my God.
This holy weekend which passed away,
Yeah.
daily there were more than 10 lakh people who were visiting Varanasi. Numbers is not that a big deal. It is such a place. It deserves more.
Yeah.
People should come more in number, but they should come with the right intent.
Right. Exactly.
Right
That's
spirit.
what my point
They
is.
should make the most out of their visit.
Correct.
There's nothing wrong in blogging. There's nothing wrong
Yeah,
in
absolutely.
going and doing the videography and doing.
Yeah.
See, we are living in Kali-Yug times.
Correct.
And this is, social media has become...
Everybody wants to be an
It has
influencer.
become a part and parcel of our life.
Right.
Perhaps this conversation also, social media is a big platform where people
Correct.
will know and get to listen to it.
True.
But when you are coming to Kashi, come with an open mindset of experiencing that divine nature, that raw nature of Shiva. Whoever comes to me and asks, what should I keep in mind during my stay? I say, don't make any Shivadro. Yeah, Shivadro means anything you should not do it which should hurt the Kashi Vashis, the local residents. Because according to Skanda Puran, those who have smeared Chandan and Bhasm on their forehead, they are supposed to be worshipped equally to Chandrasekhar. Don't make any Shivadro. Go with open heart. Go and experience and imbibe that feeling which is omnipresent here in Kashi. The crowd coming, people experiencing, that is all good for the tourism part, for the economy part. And it is flourishing like anything. That's very true. The tourism potential in Varanasi today, it is massive. Many companies.
I think the Kashi Vishwanath corridor has a reason for it.
Yeah.
And because of that also a lot of people are attracting
Without a
towards
doubt.
it. Yeah.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Okay. So I was asking about like if you provide diksha to the those who want to take it, and if yes, what is the process for it?
No, Diksha, I do not give. I can guide you
Yeah.
what path you should take.
Hmm.
Diksha comes very later. First, you should be eligible to get Diksha.
Correct.
People ask me, how do I find the right guru?
Guru. Yeah.
How right are you first? You should
Correct.
introspect on that.
Yes.
So, move ahead firstly with basics of sadhana, of upasana. Reciting of Kal Bav Ashtakam, reading the Astottar Namavali, reading the Kal Bhairav Chalisa. If you do these on a continuous, there are certain simple mantras also, like the Apad Udharak mantra, yet very powerful, very powerful. Means mokshadai. Moksha is epitome of anything.
Right.
It is mokshadai. So if you recite and read this, don't wait. Be in search of a guru. Strive to find that person. But don't sit without doing anything, or just sit for that one person, one moment to come, and then you'll start to do anything. Right? You can
Understood.
start with this. Adi Guru Shankaracharya wrote down the Kal Bhairav Ashtakam, Shiva himself. Astottar Namavali written in our Shastras, Bhairav Chalisa. So these are given to us by Puranas and Shastras, the most authentic gurus. Worshipped in the form of guru. Our books, our Shastras, our Puranas.
Right.
If you're not able to find guru, if you're not able to find one with diksha, all these things, that you're looking for your spiritual progress in life, don't sit idle. Start with this. They are potent enough, powerful enough to take you all the way, to make you realize the epitome of ecstasy. They are that potent.
Yeah. So is it necessary, or is it required to have a physical guru, or one can have like for example, if I have a Ishta Devta, I can make him my guru. I mean, I take him as my guru and he will guide me. Is it okay to do that, or is it necessary to have a physical guru?
Two aspects to that question. Whether it is necessary, actually, whether you will get a guru or not, that also has to do a lot with your prarabdha. If you've done some good karma, you are entitled to get a good guru. Somewhere or the other, you will find him in life, or perhaps you have found him, you're not able to recognize him. Right? Our Mata Pita are the first form of guru. Worshipping them, not respecting them, worshipping them is the highest form of guru seva you can do. And with regards to the other aspect, that was
whether I can take my Ishta Devta as my
Ishta
guru.
Devata as guru, certainly. There's actually, it is also to do with your own personal connection which you will make with the deity going ahead. I see Mahadev as my father, Ma Parvati as my mother. That's my vision, my aspect of looking at it. You can look at him as his guru, as your elder brother, as your guardian. That's your own individual connection which you make with him. And you should go with the flow, what you feel inside, and that is the best guidance you can get.
I think I'll take a while to process all the information, all the valuable insights you have given me, and I'm very overwhelmed by it. And I believe there are a lot of podcasts hidden inside you, which information which you have, the insights about Kashi you have. I just want that it should be shared with people, as you are doing a very good job on social media and spreading knowledge about it. I'm very happy about it. That's how I connected with you. I'm very grateful that you came here, and we have reached to the end of the podcast. But I just want you to tell me, like if someone wants to start a Bhairava Upasana from today, what is the method to do that? I mean, what is the right way to do it?
So it can be done in the form of an anushthan, or it can be done in the form of a daily prayer also. Anushthan is when you do it sankalpabadh. When you take some sankalp or a promise, you make a promise to yourself or to the deity that you will be, suppose say, chanting the Kal Bav Ashtakam X number of times on a daily basis up to this day. That is sankalpabadh in the form of an anushthan. Or you can do as a daily Vedic prayer also. You can include his chanting, his mantras in your daily, day-to-day puja rituals. If you are unsure whether you can do it in a disciplined way, because once you make a sankalp, try to follow it. breaking the sankalp is not the most appreciated thing. So if you're not sure of whether whether your day-to-day life allows you to do it in the form of an anushthan, do it in the form of a day-to-day. Whenever you worship your Bhagwan in your puja room, that time include his worship. Include Kal Bhairavastakam, include Astottar Namavali, include Bhairav Chalisa, or just simple Om Bhairavaya Namaha, Om Mahakal Bhairavaya Namaha. Right? There are Bij mantras and other things also, but they come much, much later. Anyone who's trying to start his sadhana upasana, start with Kal Bhairavastakam. Have faith on it. Most important, don't divert. Have faith that this is capable enough, this has the power to take me and make me meet my Ishta Devata. Follow that religiously, righteously. It is a boring process for most of you. Especially for the beginners, it will be a very boring process. But stick to that. Sticking to that will take you to the phase where eventually you will realize that there's something else about it. And every day you'll find new meaning into that mantra. But you have to by heart it, not say it from your mouth, but internalize it, feel it. That will signify and that will make your sadhana, upasana and worship more meaningful and more relevant.
Right. Thank you so much for your valuable insights, and I wish you all the best for your future endeavors. And I really want that we should continue this process, and whenever you come back to Mumbai, we will have another one.
Certainly, hopefully very soon.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Rameshji, for having me. Har Har
Har Har
Mahadev.
Mahadev.